Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm just waiting for my viewer to update, because if it's not updating or if something's feedbacking, that would be not good, to say the least. So everything should be working fine. I do not hear myself feedbacking, so that is nice. Also, just a quick note at the beginning, my computer, I'm not sure what's going on with it lately, but it's not the most stable thing ever. So sometimes it's being a little freakish, so I'm not sure if my computer is going to crash, which I have, which has happened like 2 times already today. So, let me just say hello to everybody. Yes, okay, there we go. So, first of all, this is the last day of the year. So it's the 31st of December. So, first of all, I want to thank you guys so much. It's been a great year. Put out a lot of episodes, but also I got a lot of comments, which I think is also very important, which means that, you know, we have a little bit of a community right there. A little bit of a conversation, which I think is always a good thing. So then I want to jump into what the stream is all about, because the title's Animating Card Artwork. So if you want to know what that means, I'm not sure if you guys know it, but there's a pretty popular card game that is called Magic the Gathering, which is, as I said, it's a pretty popular card game, but it features these really nice artworks. So I have an artwork over here, which I already did today to test out if it's possible. So this is a little comparison. This is the original. This is an animated version. Original animated version. So I think that this, you know, looks pretty neat, and I want to do the same thing today again, but then with this artwork, because I think that this is a really cool piece of art right there. So what I did is, for this one I made I used a displacement map over here. So the white parts are close to the camera, the black parts are furthest away, and that is, then in HitFilm you can use the displacement effect, and then you can basically displace your object in the video, or in the photo, which makes it look like it's actually a 3D object, which I want to do today. So for the people that are joining in now, so this is the animated version, original animated version, and you can see that it's a little bit of 3D motion. Of course, you have these energy sort of waves and things right there. So that's what I want to do today. So just real quick, I'll show you what this looks like. I'll be making a new displacement map for the second picture again, of course. So first of all, I had a little overlay so that I can see what I'm working with. Then I had the white parts, and then you can see that it's slowly builds down over there. So I'll be making a new displacement map today, which I do in Photoshop. That's just because, you know, it's my favorite photo editing software. Let's see, and then I'll need a black layer over there. Okay, so for now I will have the chat on the screen, so you know, you guys can have a little talk. But now I need to see. Okay, my brush was just really small. So I got some comments from HitFilm Academy saying that it's been a great year, which I agree. I mean, there were some things that were not the best, but there were also things this year that I think were really cool. I've put out a lot of new stuff. We had a great conversation. So yeah, I think this was a pretty neat year. So I'll explain what I'll be doing. I start off with this black layer over here. Then I will trace the outline. Oh, oopsie. I'll trace the outline of the creature over here. So you can see if I turn this off, you get this black, and then with a different shade on top. But I think this should be a little bit darker, or no, a little bit lighter, because I'll need a darker shade for the robe over there. Okay, so I'll be doing the outline of this so that I can make a displacement map out of this. Now, drawing the outline is the most tedious part. For the rest, to add in the different shades is just a matter of copying this and removing other parts. So this is just the outline over here. Okay, so I get the question of Venom Films' favorite film of 2017. Now, to be honest, I have not seen too many films, but I have been to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and I think that the cinematography of that one and just overall the film itself was really great. So maybe you guys feel different about it, but I definitely really liked it. Now, for the record, you might be hearing some explosions in the back. That's not because I am because I have explosives, which would be weird, and it's suspicious that I'm saying this, but no, seriously, I don't have explosives, but there's fireworks outside because, you know, it's the last day of the year. So people are igniting fireworks. Now I need to pull this down a little bit because I think I had it on 10% in the last one. Yeah, 10% works way better right there. So I'll be drawing the outline over here. So what are some of the things that you guys really liked in 2017? What were some things that you disliked? Maybe you put out some content yourself, and maybe there's stuff that you're really proud of. If so, share it with us in the chat section. So don't worry, this stream won't be me painting in Photoshop forever, but this is necessary here to create a displacement map out of this. And I'm not sure if this is going to be the best thing ever, but you know, this is just me trying out some new stuff. And also, I mean, this is artwork of Magic the Gathering. I'm not sure. Do you guys know Magic the Gathering? Is it something that you guys play yourselves? I don't know. Maybe it is. So Venom Films says, my favorite part of the year was interviewing you. That's great. That might be a big claim. And for the people that are watching this, they probably do not know what we're talking about, but Venom Films actually interviewed me, and the video is not yet up, I think. But when it goes up, I'll definitely let you guys know on my channel here as well. So we had a little chat about my latest short film, you know, about the process and stuff of creating the short film. I personally think that he had some great questions, and it's a really interesting piece. to listen to. So when that will be out, I will definitely let you guys know. So, oh boy, so I will have to erase some stuff. Why is it not responding? Oh, it's in background eraser. That's not neat. Okay, and Venom Film says it will be out in February. So, you know, that's a little thing to look out for. I'm personally, yeah, I know what we spoke about, but I am, I'm really looking forward to seeing the final product, because I've seen the other one that he's made, and that looks really cool. So, by the way, I hope that I'm not saying too much. I won't be spoiling any information, of course, because you have to watch the video. I think that speaks for itself. So that was Venom Films, but are there some other people that had some interesting things this year? And maybe you can also put in the chat what you guys are looking out for in the next year. Maybe there's some stuff that you want to do. Maybe there's a product you want to buy. So, you know, let me know. So, this is actually a bigger piece than I did this afternoon, because this is a I believe this is a wallpaper. So this is 1920 by 1080, and the other one was 600 by 444 pixels. I think that's about right. I also don't know. That's a weird format. It's not common. Or so I believe. By the way, I will just duplicate this one so that I can see what I'm actually painting here. So I'm here I'm painting on separate layers so that I can make adjustments more easily. And also, I do have a drawing tablet, but it's not working with pen sensitivity anymore, or I don't think it has ever worked with pen sensitivity, which is a shame, because, you know, pen sensitivity is really handy. So yes, let's see, where are we going? Okay, so that one, I'm now drawing the outline basically, and then I will go back in and fill the center. Okay, so now I can go around the head. Do I want to add in the hair? No, I'll add the hair on a separate layer. I think I'll add that on the same layer as the robes over there. And this will, whoa, this will just be the head. So again, put in the chat what were some things that you liked this year, what are some things that you're looking out for next year. Also, if there's stuff that you want me to make a video on, you can also put that in the comment section, or the live chat I should say, because, you know, this is a live stream. I just thought about that, about the fact that there's actually a tool in which you can create straight lines, which would save me a lot of time with this armor, because this armor is not shaped, you know, really organically shaped. Also, I think, yeah, around Wednesday I will be announcing a new series, which will be a series of, I believe, 5 episodes, which is, you know, something you can look out for. I'm definitely enjoying working on it. And again, I've been writing on my newest or on a new short film, so I won't be giving too much information, and I will not give any dates because I'm just not I'm not sure about when it will be out, and I don't want to have people waiting for me. Whoa, what happened there? And I don't want people waiting for me to put something out because, you know, I don't really like pressure. I'm not sure if anyone likes pressure. So yes. So again, I'm still tracing the outlines of the figure, and the outlines is the biggest part because for the different shades I can just copy this one and erase the fields that are not needed. Okay, so we're getting there. I think I filled everything in, or at least it looks like it. But I think no, I didn't. Let me just erase that. Why is that a background eraser? I don't want the background eraser. Am I erasing a background? No, I'm erasing a foreground. Okay, so then we have this, and now I will have to, you know, basically fill this up, which will be a tedious job. But for that I will be using a little help. I'm using the selection tool so that I just select so I select the outline and then I can fill it up again. Okay, so just got a comment. Upper of Dust says, I found out Film Empire recently. Your channel is small, but the content is great. Thank you. Appreciate it. The channel has grown. I think the subscriber amount has doubled this year. So I'm not sure what I'm on currently. But yeah, it's small. But I'm not doing it for the amount of subscribers. I'm doing it for the subscribers themselves. I don't really care about how many people view my videos. And so the views are not that high, but some videos like the logo removal tutorial, or I think it's even how to stabilize footage in HitFilm, that got an absurd amount of views, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. The video about stabilizing actually stands besides one of the official HitFilm tutorials. So if you then go there, you see my videos in the recommended section. So that's really nice. But yes, I appreciate what you think of my content. So now I think it's a good time to talk about this year. I've had a blast. I think that's just a good way to describe it. I've made a lot of new content, and I've been making more content of which I think you guys would also enjoy. So again, if there is something that you want me to make, I can't stress enough, put it in the comment section. and I just have a planning, and I'll fit it in there somewhere. So as I told you, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I told you that I am working on a new series of 5 episodes, and I have another series after that, which would be, I think, 4 episodes. And then when that one's finished, I have another series of 6 episodes. Now, I won't be releasing them like all after each other, so it won't be 5 weeks of that series, but I'm releasing it every other week. Then the first Saturday of 2018 will be a normal episode, then the one after that will be one of the series, and then one of the then a normal episode, and then one of the series. So it's like every other video, every other week I will release a video of the series. Okay, so Uprof does is talking about how my videos are helpful, and he says hit film especially. So if you can put in the chat what's something that you would you enjoy, some tutorials that you want to see me make about hit film, because it's all about you guys. So if I know what you guys want, that would be really helpful. Boom. And there we go. Now I missed something there, so I'll have to. Whoa, that's big. What? Ugh. Clicking the wrong one. I'm using shortcuts, but I'm not using them correctly. Nice. So, does that look good? Yeah, that looks fine, I think. Does it? Yeah, I think it does. Okay, so now this is the main outline. I'm not really happy with the fact that it's very, very fuzzy. So what I think I'll do is basically erase the outline here. Why is it even been filled in over there? There's nothing here. Then I can make that one, pull that one up a little bit, and then with the brush I can brush back in some of the stuff that I just erased, and make sure that it's filled in correctly. Yeah, I think that looks about right. And now that that is looking good, so this is basically the main layer right here. This one. Then I will work on the cloak and hair, because that should be one shade darker actually. So that will go in a layer behind this one, and then I can start working on the pieces in front, which is just a matter of copying this layer, then erasing the stuff that is not needed. Let's see, is this dark enough? I can't even. That's the eraser. Never mind. I'm not the best user of this software. Okay, so yes, that looks good. So then I will be painting on this. So it's just a matter of painting over. And yes, this may take a while, and I think in the if I finished the live stream that I'll put in a time code somewhere where you can see where the painting is and where the actual animating happens, because this is the displacement map, but that's not the only thing, the displacement, because I'll also be adding in effects, and the hair will also be animated, of course, because, you know, it's hair in the wind. So I'm actually being very precise here. I'm not sure how much it matters actually, but you know, I prefer doing it pretty precise. But I can make the brush a bit bigger over here. And this is kind of hard to be very exact at, because it's these are quite abstract shapes right there. Okay, so I think that outline looks pretty neat. That will continue over there. Okay, so let me look something up real quick, because I got a question in the comment section. Yeah, okay, so I got a comment by Upperdoes, says, by the way, can you please create a video on how to make an intro with jumping / bouncing 3D logo with text in HitFilm Express? Now, this is actually, I don't think this is able in Express. You do have the Boris title pack. That's an add-on, which I think costs around $50 right there, which is expensive. And I'm not even sure if you can extrude 3D stuff there, because then you would have to create a logo in an external program, and then you would have to add that in with 3D tools, and I'm not sure if that's even able in HitFilm Express. Now with the new HitFilm Pro, you do have the extrude tools, which I'll be making a tutorial on somewhere in the future. Actually, very close in the future. Let me look this up real quick, because I have it on the planning somewhere. I think it's actually the first video I'll be doing. Yeah, it's on the 6th of January, so that will be this coming Saturday. I'll be showing you how to create a fancy 3D text animation, which I featured somewhere in my latest video on that was like the top 5 of 2017, and I had fancy 3D text, which I just created that because I thought it looked cool. But then I thought, okay, I can actually make this into a tutorial, because maybe people are wondering how on earth I did that. So I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if that's able in Express. So Venom Films asks, what microphone do you use? And now I will pull it up, because I'm not sure myself. let me see. Yes, it's this one. It's the Divine USB 1 condensator USB studio microphone. So, yes, it's this one right here. Yeah, this is in Dutch. Not sure if I can put it on English somewhere. So it's the Divine USB 1 condensator USB microphone. So there you have it. That's the microphone that I use. It's not the lavalier microphone that I use in my normal videos, but this is the studio setup. And in the studio setup, I use a different microphone. Sorry for the silence, but I was just drinking someone. Stay hydrated, kids. So this should stay open. Now again, this takes a lot more time than the previous one, because the previous one was a lot smaller, but I almost have the outline done here of the hair. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. So then I would have to fill this in as well, which I'll be doing. Yes. So animating a picture, because this is not your standard animating right there. This is using displacement maps. That will take you a longer amount, because of course you have to create an entire displacement map for the image right there. So yeah. So now I'm just filling in the blank areas, but because these shapes are so abstract, it's difficult to do using a selection, so this will have to be done. Oh, why am I even bothering filling it in so neatly? Because, this is one piece over here. So I can just bump up the size. And then I can fill this area up. So after the hair is done, can do the separate colors really quickly to create the depth. Because creating depth, for that you'll have to have separate colors. But because we have the outline already completely finished off, as I said earlier, is just copy, erase, rinse, and repeat. So it's actually a lot more silent than I thought it would be. It's on New Year's Eve, because normally there's an awful ton of fireworks being ignited, but it's actually reasonable over here. And of course, yeah, for me it's 7:30 p.m. So I'm not sure how it's with you. I know that at Venom Films it will be 6:30. But I'm not sure where the other people live. So I'm not sure what your time zone is. Whoa, that's a lot of movement. How's this looking? Reasonable. Reasonable. And then, is this? Yeah. That's fine. So that's the first part finished. And then, here, of course, we have this gigantic part that needs to be filled up. So, yes. I'm not even sure if it needs to be done this precise, because it's a displacement map. I'm not sure how precise you'll have to be with this, because it's displacement, so it won't be very noticeable if some gaps are there. But you know, I'll just make it a bit neat. And also, okay, so 4K Production says, Jane, would bucket fill not stay within your borders, or would it do the whole layer? Now, I get what you're saying, but just, I'm not sure if I'm even right here. If you are right, you're a hero. But what I think would happen is that because the borders are a bit... like, the borders are a bit smudgy over here, so those are different colors. And as you can see, if I fill it, because these are all different shades. This is pure white, so the pure white area will fill, but this is like a gradient. But if I would that, yeah, okay, that fills the entire thing right there. So it's not, that will never get perfect. So I get what you're saying there, but I do not think that works. Thanks for the suggestion, anyway. Appreciate you. And Upper Das says it's 12:05 a.m. here, India. Fire was cracking everywhere. Yeah, I imagine. So it's India, so that's so 12:05. That's weird, because here it's 35. That would mean that it's a difference of a few hours and half an hour, which I think would be weird. Because, yeah, I know that North Korea has a time zone that differs half an hour with South Korea, but I don't think that's any other country has a time difference of half an hour. But okay, there we are. Neat. Ah, damn, I forgot that we have the hair up here. Okay, so for this, I'll be relatively quick. I'll just make some big movements. Because again, I'm not sure why I was even being so exact with the timing, or with the precision, I should say. So that would mean that we're almost there regarding the displacement map. Yeah, looks cool. I'll take it. Yes, neat. So then I will take, that's a difficult move, because this will need to be made into a gradient. Yeah, let's just wait with that. Okay. So then I will duplicate this layer over here and go to image or enhance lighting, brightness contrast, and then I can pull up the brightness. So now you can see that we have two different layers, and the stuff that's furthest back, so that would be the arm, gets removed from this selection. So now if we take this back, you can see that has a little bit of a gradient, which is exactly what we want. But yeah. I'm not happy with this. I want to actually remove the sword, because the sword will need to be a gradient. So I'll do the rest normally, but this will have to be a gradient. So Control X, Control V. Now we have a separate sword. Oh, oopsie daisy. Why isn't it? I'm selecting this one. It's taking the background here. Huh. Okay, so that one's good. So that will be the sword. And I'll take that back a layer. Then I will duplicate this one and just do what I did before. I just lighting, brightness, contrast. Pull up the lighting and poof, remove that part. Then what do we have? This part should be I think this one's actually really easy because it's basically standing in a straight pose but then angled towards the camera, so that would, I think that would almost be just a normal fade, which is easy. Pull up the brightness here as well, and then see right here, the face still needs to be intact, which it is, I believe. Okay. Yes, and then I can duplicate lighting, brightness, contrast, pull this up, and then I can pull off this trick right there. So you can see that we're basically creating a gradient here where white is closest to the camera. Okay. And then I think I can actually just add in the sword and make that a gradient. So I'm selecting this one. I think this might be a little too light. So making this a little darker. Yeah, that still gives a good contrast. And this one should be pure white over there. So now I can create a plane with a fade like that. So how long is that sword? Oh, that's a rainbow. I mean, that's also nice, but I need these two colors that I just select. So does that work? From dark to pure white. So then that would be like this. Then I will select what on earth? Oh, that's the gradient. It takes the gradient. That's not what we need. Thanks anyway. Then in the refine edge, I need to shift the edge down. It's not doing anything. There we go, and then smooth it out. then we have this fade, and then I'll merge these two together. There you go. We have a sword right there. Yeah, I think that this is a pretty good displacement map right here. Cool. So I'll save this and then save it as a displacement map. Okay. And now I really hope that when I start working with the displacement map, I really hope that my computer does not crash, because that happened 2 times when trying out the previous one. And the previous one was 600 by 444 pixels, and this one is 1920 by 1080. So, you know, I'm not sure how well my computer will handle this, but we will see. We shall see. How long will I make this animation? I think about 5 seconds. 5 seconds should be fine. So that would be these 2 images over here. Now I can pop this one in and pop this one in. As you can see, we have a perfect displacement map. That looks cool. I'll be saving this. And I have my autosave set to 1 minute because, you know, apparently my computer is not too good at displacing stuff. So set the displacement to lightness. So as you can see, we can now, this is really noticeable over here, but I can basically displace over here. Yes. Okay. So, first of all, I'll set my length here to 5 seconds. So as you can see, the parts in the back do not move that much, but the parts in the front do. And you can pull this off really far. Whoa, excuse me. So Venom Film suggests add some particles floating around. Now that would be cool, but I'm actually thinking of using energy distort, because if you use energy distort on certain parts like the cloak, that creates a really nifty effect where you can see it moving around. So that's what I'm planning on using. But first off, I will set keyframes here and keyframes there, and then over here have it move a little. So yeah, I'm not sure how well this turned out, because when you're working with this displacement, of course, stuff displaces. I mean, it's literally in the effects title. I'll select all of these, set them to manual BG. So yeah, it's not the best, but we'll have to deal with it, I guess. Okay, so that's part 1. Then I will duplicate this one. So this one is the main. Then I'll set this one to distort 1, because this will be the layer that I will use for distorting The cloak. By the way, are there actually people here that play Magic the Gathering? Or did you know? Or do you know about Magic the Gathering? Like, you know, what the game is about? Because if you do, cool. It's a really nice game, actually. I do think it's 13 plus because it does contain some gory elements. So now you can see that I have this one. So Film Academy says you should color grade it. Yes, I will. By the way, this illustration is not mine. I should disclose that. I can't draw, but this illustration is done by someone with a lot of talent, which I think you've noticed already. So then I will continue selecting out the cloak. So how much feather do you have? 25. Okay, so I'll set this to 25 as well. Then I can go on with this next one. Okay. Also add some feather right there. And what does this look like? Yeah, looks cool. Although I think that these masks should be edited a little to exclude the hands and stuff. So that's what I will be doing. Yeah, I think that this looks about fine for the robe. And then I will add some masks for the hair. Okay, so 4K Production says, I've heard from the older grandsons, but I'm far too old to play it. Well, I mean, you're never too old to learn anything, but yeah, I personally really enjoy playing it. It's a strategy card game, but it's also a trading card game. So, you know, if you need new cards, you can buy them, you can trade them, you can do anything your heart desires. So that's why I was in the mood to animate some stuff for it. Okay, so that's a new mask right there. Does this work? Yeah. Yeah, it works. And then, by the way, I'll turn off the displacement map right there because we don't need that stuff. Or I mean, yeah, of course you do need it, but you don't need to see it. So, Hifam Academy says, just like Pokemon. Well, yeah, it's by the same creators, actually, but the game mechanics are way different, and I personally enjoy it more than Pokemon, but that's my personal opinion right there. Cool. So we have all of the hair finished, and that's the distorted one. It still moves with everything. Okay. And then I'm not sure what distortion to use. Yeah, apparently not heat distort, because the heat distort completely wrecks the image. But I used energy distort, previous one. But I think it should be way subtler. So I don't want any diffusion actually, but I do diffusion. I don't want diffusion. Oi, that looks pretty neat, if I say so myself. If you can just ramp preview this a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. Although the wind is blowing from that direction, so that would mean not 090, 180, 270. I think that's about right. And then I can set this really slow. Okay, so Hit Film Academy asks, what microphone do you use? Venom Films asked the same a while ago. It's the, what? I already forgot. It's the Divine USB 1. So I'll pull it up over here. It's the Divine USB 1 condensator USB studio microphone. It's this one right there. It's also very cheap, and it says just because it sounds amazing. Yeah, I know. And it costs about 40 bucks. It's cheap, but it sounds amazing. I mean, you have no background noise or anything, and it picks up my voice perfectly. Okay. So that works. The displacement definitely works. So then, now that we have the displacement, maybe what shall I do? You know, I could add in some flares. I mean, flares are always nice. So then, what do I like? I like this one, and then I can put it in his eyes. So you have these very intense, looking eyes. I mean, that's a bit intense, isn't it? And then I'll duplicate it, but then I'll change this over here. So then you have the light. Then I'll add a grade. So that's grade 1 over here, on which I'll add light rays. That might be a little too much. Gleam. Also with this, it's a bit much, but I think that we can pull down the intensity quite much until we get like 0.1 or something. And just have a little bit of that shimmer and shine. Right there, and then I'll add a second grade on which I will do, you know, the actual grading slash color correcting. So on brightness and contrast, I will pull up the contrast a little. Holy shite, that looks epic. Just look at the difference that makes. Oi oi oi, that looks awesome. Okay, and then I will take crush blacks and whites so that I can pull the contrast up a little bit more, and then pull up the white. Is it? Yeah. And then I'll add a letterbox. Where did I put my letterboxes? There we go. And then I will pull everything down a bit. I'm not sure if the letterbox works very well. Nope, I don't think the letterbox works very well with this. So we have, yeah, it's really laggy right now. Also, with the flares, you have like the artifacts. But I don't like the artifacting. So I'll pull that down. So now you have the flares over there, which I think look epic. Yeah, I think we're kind of good to go. So I will add this to my exporting list, and it will start exporting. So again, what is some stuff that you really liked this year? What's some stuff that you're looking out for next year? So yeah. I am eager to hear. Okay, so it looks like it is finished. And let's see what we have created. That looks cool. The displacement might be a little bit off, but you know, for first time, I think that this looks cool. Yeah, I appreciate this stuff. And again, this is the one that I created earlier. This is the original. This is the new one. Original, new one. But I think this one turned out a little bit better, actually, just because of this energy. So this one was a lot easier to animate. So yeah, I think that was it for this stream. I think that that looks pretty cool. Venom Films asks, do you use Blender? Well, I have it on my computer installed. I don't use it regularly. If I design stuff in 3D, which is mostly like sort of product type stuff, for that I will use a Fusion 360, which is free for students and people that earn less than $100,000 a year with it. So you know, whoa, excuse me, that was my microphone. Okay. Okay, so 4K Production says I don't usually request anything specific just because my interests are so weird and I always find something interesting in tutorials and other areas. So yeah, if you feel that it might be weird to ask something, it's not, I promise you. But if you do feel that it's a little weird to ask, you can go to my website, which I will pull up. If I can get the link correct. Funny. Which is film-empire.weebly.com. So you can go to this link up here and then go to contact. So you can see YouTube, you can hit me up on Facebook, you can email me, or you can fill in this form. So there's also the free download, so you can have a free lens dirt pack, free sky replacement pack, revolver Foley sound effects, and the fight sound effects pack over there. And it says this over here. What could that be? That's something special right there. So I thank you all for watching. I think this was a great live stream, and I will see you all next year, which is funny because, you know, tomorrow will be the next year with a new episode. Bye.